What would you say has been your biggest regret in life?
My biggest regret probably is I should have loved harder, I guess.
You know, and I feel blessed that when I look at my husband, that standard is like, is top tier, right? It's like my dad's love, right? That's the truest love I've known from a man.
They talking about, Russell Wilson adds Wilson to Ciara's last name and Baby Future's last name. That's bigger news.
Wait. Nah.
That's what that ass. Yeah. So
I mean, that's cool for Ciara. Do you do that for Future, baby? Nah, I ain't going with that.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm not even going to speak on that. That's too loaded.
If you have nobody's right. It's all opinionated. But I will say this, Stat, you wrote down this topic. You wrote down that Baby Future got the last name. You wrote down that Ciara got the last name. But the whole point is, no, what I'm saying is, why is it news? So now when we say it, it's like we bugging, but this makes the news. If it was no big deal that Ciara or Russell or Baby Future got the Wilson last name, why is it in the list of what the fuck we gonna talk, not to you, but what are we talking about?
Why would you even put the baby in there?
Relates to families and men, right? There's a difference between boys and men, okay? And to me, men love a certain way. They have a certain standard of how they love and choose to love and do things, you know, and I feel blessed that when I look at my husband, that standard is like, is top tier, right? It's like my dad's love, right? That's the truest love I've known from a man, you know, and so to see that is such a blessing. But I love that my kids, when they look up at each other and, you know, Future out him and Amora are like our baby girl, like he's the sweetest with her, or Sienna, and just how and how they all interact with each other. It's love. That's all that matters, right?
What's been your biggest regret in life?
My biggest regret probably is I should have loved harder, I guess. Should have found a way to love harder. I should have found a way to love the right way.
Right.
Like, but as I go along and I learn, like I'm in a situation where I come from nothing. And I didn't have a person, a male role model to show me how to open the door for a woman, like, or just buy her flowers. They really like flowers. Nobody bought my mom flowers. I never see my mom get flowers. And so just like I never seen that male role model just showing me how to treat a woman. So as I grew up and I get women or I get girls or whatever the situation may be, I'm in relationships. I learned through my relationships, through failed relationships, to learn how to treat the next woman. And then failed in that relationship, learn how to treat the next one.
This is so good.
At the end of the day, it's just like that's how I learned.
Yeah.
I don't want to use that as an excuse why I shouldn't do this. Right? So instead of using that as an excuse, I just learn from it and accepting my mistakes.
Right.
And I keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's the only regret is just for me, people not understanding it and understanding the lifestyle that I'm living now, but also understanding that where I was at in my mentality. I carried the mentality from the streets over into the music industry.
Tell us the truth! When we look at the statistics and we see that over 50% of marriages end in divorce, and over 76% of those divorces are initiated by women, then we understand that women are the reason that these kids grow up in these fucked up single parent homes. And we're not even including the households where people aren't legally married, but they live like husband and wife and the children are in that structured environment. Here's the real issue. A woman decides that whatever her personal shit is, that she want to go be for the streets or she want to go be a single mom or she too strong for this shit or whatever she decides. Once she decides that she wants to break up the stability and structure of that household, her children suffer.
Don't really speak like that. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna take my son, go hang out downstairs, whoop. I'm getting kicked out. No, because I don't get the chance to be a dad when I want to be a dad. Like, you think I don't give a fuck about hanging around no girls. I want to be around my son. You feel me? But since I can't be around my son, I'm obviously gonna work. I'm not finna sit in the crib, look at the wall and cry about the shit, you know? I'm gonna go work.
Because they had that structure and they had that access to their father. Now, when she goes away and takes the children with her, which happens over 90% of the time, she expects you as a man to continue to do all of the shit you were doing from the household. Now, I got to go build a whole new fucking life. See, my life was in the household with you and these children. That was my life. Every day I woke up and that was about you and those children. Now I got to create a whole new life, a whole new foundation for life. I got to figure out where the fuck I'm going to even live now. Problem is the children go with her.
How are y'all learning how to be wives and your mother wasn't a wife? You just said if you want to learn to fly a plane, you're going to go to a pilot. You want to learn how to cook, you're going to go to a chef. Women don't know what's intrinsically important to a man. They don't know how to be a wife because their mothers wasn't wives. In general, women are raising their daughters to be single mothers because they are single. They're single mother, and they like, I'm gonna teach you how to be strong. And my mama told me I don't need no man. And they have raised you to be a single woman.
That's terrible.
And go be educated, so you don't need to depend on no man. Get you an education and go to college. They have groomed you to be a single mother. But if you want to be a wife, you have to learn how to be a wife from a wife, the same way you will learn how to cook from a chef. Then once you surround yourself with other wives, then you will know what's intrinsically important to a man. A lot of y'all women ain't even wives. And you married.
And yes, I know later on down the line, she want to push them motherfuckers over on you. But yeah, but that's because she bit off more than she can chew. And now the children are fucked up in the head now because you weren't there and they've been raised by her all this time. Now, how can you as a man continue to do all of those things that you were doing? See, if you're waking up every day, taking your children to school, picking them up when you get off work or taking them to practice and doing all that, it's easy as fuck to do when you waking up every day, y'all leaving out of the same household. There's no extra trip. But imagine that you move and now you're 45 minutes away and you got to get up 45 minutes early every fucking day to go 45 minutes and take them to school and then go 45 minutes plus back to where you got to go to make money. Or even if you work from home, you got to go 45 minutes or longer back home every fucking day. And then you got to do it again when they get out of school. And then when they come to those practices and when they come to those games and when they come to all that shit. Now remember, at the same time, you got to recover emotionally from this shit because you loved your responsibility as a father. You loved your responsibility as a husband. That's why so many men are broken when they come out of the relationship because motherfuckers don't want you to take time to yourself, man, to rebuild yourself. You got to figure out who the hell you are now. You've been this same motherfucker for 10, 15, 20 years. Man, come on, bro. As men, man, we deserve the right to save ourselves. First of all, there's humiliation from the fact you can't be a father anymore. Then there's the frustration from the fact you can't be a father anymore. Then the woman moves on and she may take the child away a long way. Let's say you live in Miami and mom moved to New York with the children. Well, you just fucked up their life. Because I know damn well you're not expecting me to try to figure out how to get back and forth to New York. You made that decision. Yeah, I ain't had no input on that shit. So once you move and take them away, you have pretty much said, man, hey, you end your relationship with your dad. And now society looks at you as a man and say, well, you're supposed to make it happen. You're supposed to figure it out, blah, blah, blah. Come on, man. At some point, man, we got to start letting women hold themselves accountable. We can't force them to be accountable, but we damn sure can't take up the slack when they make decisions that fuck it up for everybody. And I know women say, well, if I had the children, if I had to get them, I'd make note of. You wouldn't, because every man I know who got custody of your children, man, the woman disappeared and went and lived her own motherfucking life. She was not being active in no children's life once she got them over to their dad. She was young and free again. And I say that in 100% of situations. So I want y'all to understand, man, as men, we got to stop taking responsibility and accountability for shit that women decide to do. If she make the decision that she's strong enough to be a single mom and she can go do it by herself, well, goddamn, let her go do it. Owe her anything if she decides that she wants to break up the stability and structure of a home that her children are thriving in to go do some other thing. And secondly, now I'll talk to y'all about this later because this is getting too long. Once she go marry somebody else, man, them children become that man's responsibility when it comes to raising them and being there and all that type of shit. Now they become a bill to you, a financial responsibility. Women got to be dedicated to having a home for their children. If you ain't want that, you shouldn't have had a baby with the motherfucker you had a baby with.